Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord Modded. It hasn't even been that long since our, well, I think it was a pretty close run battle, but we did end up suffering a defeat. Well, let's move on from that, shall we? But if you want to check it out, there is obviously the previous episode to watch, last little bit of that, last like 10 minutes or so, and you can see exactly what happened. But anyway, I'm down here at Askar because I would actually like to take this if at all possible. You can see here there's only 150 in the garrison. I don't know what kinds of units they have in there, but as you can see, it seems to be mostly lower tier units, with the exception of some of the heavy cavalry that they have here, and so on. Now, I've actually found an extremely easy way to retrieve our clan members that we lost as a result of our defeat. And that was the main reason why I actually wanted to start the episode here, because while I haven't fully recovered just yet, it is actually pretty useful. Now, here's the thing. Due to the diplomacy mod, we have the ability to send messengers, as I've shown you beforehand, right? So what we can do is I could say to Sylvan, hello, yeah, if I can actually click on you properly, I can send a messenger to her. I don't even need to know where she is, okay? I just know that she has been released now from Askar's prison, which is obviously fantastic, that's really good. But that's all I need to do, that's all I need to know. I just need to know that she is perfectly fine and not a captive any longer. And now all I need to do is send a messenger to speak to her. And obviously it's going to take a little bit of time because she is currently in, I believe, Sonala or Liberatus or something like that. Oh, it seems like we're going to have some issues here. All right. Let's take a little bit of an overview of what's going on here. Okay, so this is obviously a bit too problematic. Oh, hello, Mirko. Mirko, hello there. All right, so there's Sylvan, obviously, there we go, there's the messenger. So now what I can do is I can say there's something I'd like to discuss. I want you to join my party, and boom. And now, where do you think she is? There she is. She joined me straight away, just from having the diplomacy mod available to us and the various benefits that come along with that. It is absolutely insane how useful that mod is. Anyway, we're just going to go to the kingdom screen right here, and I'm going to create... never mind, Mirko actually does have an army. Yeah. He already has an army. Why are you running over there, sir? Don't run over there yet. We need to wait for a couple of extra people to help us, potentially. I mean, you can see here that we have about 213, 223. No, not 223. 323. But yes, I'm hopeful that there will be maybe another vassal that's going to appear out of nowhere and maybe try and help us out a little bit. Yeah, here we go. This guy, oh, he's being assaulted by this fellow. Okay, let's do it. Let's go in here. I actually do need to switch back my my weapon, because I actually switched to a one-handed, because I thought to myself, we're probably going to go into that siege down there, aren't we? But no, seems like we're not. Anyway, let's go over here. Get him. Yes, there we are. That's what we want to do. Anything that we can do to minimize the impact that the Aserai has on the game as a whole, that is perfect to me. Absolutely perfect. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tell everyone to just do their own thing, because as I've said before, I usually tend to do that at the very start if I think we're probably going to win without too many difficulties. This is just one of those battles that gives me a good opportunity to potentially level up and to get some much needed skill increases. Or I can hope that I will be able to do that. As you can see, it might be a little bit tricky. Nice. Oh, almost 900 damage from that polearm attack. Got to be very, very careful though, because most of these enemy units do have polearms available to them. Oh, that's a nice headshot though. Thank you very much. Let's try and get to, should we try to get to 250? Why not? Sounds like a plan. I think my riding skill is probably not going to be increasing any further. By the way, this horse I'm riding at the moment is actually kind of crazy. It's really, really good. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to show it to you after this if I can remember, because let's face it, I usually tend to forget those kinds of things. So let's hope that I do remember this time. Nice damage we're dealing right now. Look at how much damage we're actually dealing. 90 damage to people in the abdomen. Pretty cool. Usually we're not able to do that much. So I like the fact that we now have such high crossbow skill. It's basically like a I don't even know. It's like launching these really large bolts at the opponent. It feels like I'm launching steel rods at them or something like that, or like a Warhammer 40k weapon, like the bolter or something. It feels like I'm literally launching attacks like that against them, but it's obviously not. It's obviously not far and away that, but it's pretty cool nevertheless. Take him down. We have 250. Come on, let's get another little bit. Yeah, there we go. 250. Fantastic. That is exactly what we wanted. Thank you very much. And I believe that I have basically everything that I had before in terms of companions. I have my younger sister. I still do not have my brother, my younger brother, shall we say, in the party anyway, because as I said before, I kind of want a little bit of an insurance policy just in case absolutely everyone gets executed in some way or another. Then, well, we have a little bit of a backup there. But apart from that, I've lost all of my horses, as I obviously showed you in the previous episode. I lost all my horses. I lost all the king's men, and I couldn't put myself back together again because I just had to make that reference, didn't I? Anyway, point is, I lost all my horses, which was obviously fantastically bad, but I did still manage to retain 2 of these really, really cool horses, and I'm using one of them now. And as I said, I am going to show you exactly what kind of stats this horse has. I know that a lot of people say that pureblood horses are really good, and I wouldn't know off by heart what kind of stats those fellows have, but I'm currently riding on a horse that I think is probably one of the best horses I've ever ridden on, so this is going to be kind of interesting to see what happens with it. Let's let these guys go just in case. We're just going to let the prisoners go as well to the people that we're actually working with right here, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's go into the inventory. So this is the horse I'm using. Pretty good in my opinion. It's got 68 speed. That is pretty good. You can see here that the Azurai horse is pretty much worse in every single way, with the exception of weight, of course, but it's such minor difference that it really makes no difference. But you could see here, look at this, every single other horse that I have available to me at the moment is paling in comparison, and bear in mind that this one does have good speed. That's the one thing that I really wanted to concentrate on here, because even though it may not have the most HP, it is still going to be running on the battlefield like a jet. It's literally just going to go across the battlefield very, very fast. And that's what I like to see. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Where's the army? Oh, there's Moko's army. Are you still in the area, sir? Is he still wanting to maybe do something to actually use his army for the forces of evil? I mean, the forces of good, of course. Yes, the forces of good. In other words, our faction. Ah, here we go. Why does he always get in? Why does he always get into these situations, eh? Why does he always get into these situations? Why is he doing this to me? Oh well, never mind. Okay. Maybe you want to come and help? Maybe this guy wants to come and help? Yeah, we might be okay. If they can rush in there. Nice. And another one. There we go. Okay, that's looking much better. But first, before I go in there, I would like to spend my perks. As you can see, I do actually have a one-handed and a scouting perk to spend as well. So let's have a look. Infantry troops gain +2 XP daily. Yeah, okay. Well, you know my thoughts on this already, so I won't go over it again. Otherwise, we have infantry in your formation. Gain an additional 10% of the total experience earned after battles. See, now, this is scalable, and that's the only reason why I like this. Because it's obviously a percentage value, it is scalable in the way that it works. So technically, it has almost infinite scaling. If you obviously raise up the amount of experience you're getting every single battle, then, well, theoretically, shall we say, it is possible to earn 1 million experience per battle. You know what I mean. That's obviously an exaggeration, of course, but generally, if you have a battle where, I don't know, where you earn 100,000 experience, which is obviously very rare, I would say, but let's just say that you earn 100,000, then that's 10,000 experience. So they gain an additional 10% of the total experience. So in other words, they would gain 110,000 experience instead of 100,000, which I think is pretty good. Even if you split it between 500 units or 300 units or whatever, in my opinion, this is much better than +2 daily experience. So I'm going to go for this, even though it may not be the best, because maybe the scaling is not as I think it is, and maybe there's a little bit of a jiggery-pokery going on there. But I don't really care, because I personally think that the potential for scaling is better than the flat value of the other particular perk. Anyway, upkeep of tier 4 plus ranged troops are reduced by 50%, or is reduced by 50%. And then what else do we have here? Has a 20% chance to increase bombardment casualties by 1, and your troops' kills by crossbows inflict 25% more morale damage to the enemy. Okay, so does that also mean my kills with the crossbow? Or does that only mean my troops' kills? Because if it means mine and my troops, then 25% more morale damage could be very, very useful. Otherwise, upkeep of tier 4 troops, that's actually kind of fantastic. Reduced by 50%, that's going to give me so much wiggle room with the amount of money that I have at the moment. I know someone actually did mention in the comments that you'd like to see a little bit of gameplay surrounding everything has a price, and I would love to be able to show you that. Unfortunately, as I demonstrated in a previous episode, the bartering system is a little bit broken at the moment. Or at least I think it's a little bit broken, because I went into a barter screen. I'm going to take this one, by the way, reducing 50% upkeep of those guys. But yeah, so I went into a barter screen. I attempted to trade 200 what was it now? Like 280,000 gold for a castle, and it wouldn't even get me half of the way along the bar for his agreement. So you can kind of imagine how much I would actually need. I'd need like 600,000 or 700,000. Yeah, to even scratch the surface on getting a castle. And don't even tell me about how many towns, or how much money I would need to be able to get towns. That's just going to be insanity. So, in my opinion, it's very, very difficult to use. Everything has a price now. And I've been singing its praises for a long time because of the way that it, well, shall we say, the way that it was in the Pelisor Trader Lord series. And it was absolutely fantastic there. Yeah, sure, okay, it may have been a bit too powerful, but I don't think it was overpowered. I think that every single skill should be brought up to that level, rather than being nerfed down to a level where it is not fun. And I know a lot of games that tend to do that, and I would say the biggest culprit is, of course, MMORPGs and things like that. If you have an MMORPG and you have a class particularly that is very, very strong, then that's great. Then just leave that class being very strong, but then make every other class extremely fun and strong to play as well, because then everything's on an even playing field, and then everyone has fun, instead of just that one person playing that one class. You know what I mean? It kind of... you know, instead of them being sad that they got their class nerfed and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about here. But anyway, I'm going to be going for 2% movement speed bonus and a 50% chance to increase the clan's relation with a notable by 1. In my opinion, that is much more effective than anything else. And we're actually going to be increasing our... probably our riding skill. Do I care about riding skill really that much? What about polearms? What does polearms do? And... yeah, this is all awful. This is all absolutely terrible. So, personally, I don't really care about any of that. What about leadership? What about this? Each tier 6 troop increases party battle morale by 1. Okay, up to 10 at the start of battle. Okay. Add 3 focus points to 3 random clan members when you get this perk. Again, this is actually quite cool. And the way that this works, I like. But it is so, well, random. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not gonna be very very useful in that respect. Ooh, construction speed is increased by 10%. That might be quite fun. But yeah, as it stands right now, I think I'm actually going to be increasing my riding skill, because that increases the speed at which I move on the world map. And generally, it just sounds like the best. idea. I'm going to increase my cunning as well, just to bring that up a little bit, because at the moment it is down in the dumps like no one's business. So let's head into the field battle. This is going to be kind of interesting. We do have an advantage in terms of combat strength, but I don't think this is going to be that easy. You know, usually that's how it goes. One battle at a time, that's what we have to do. We have to just bite off a little bit, and then chew it, and then potentially spit it out, dependent on if we find these people to be relatively delicious or tasty. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but let's just move on with the fight, shall we? Because this is one of those times. I've already kind of scraped the bottom of the barrel for the amount of units that I have in my army at the moment. I have taken every single tier 5, tier 4 unit that I have available, and if I get defeated again, I'm not really going to have much to lean back on, basically. So it's going to be a very, very difficult thing if we actually end up being defeated again. So let's hope that that will not happen. We're going to have to... am I the leader, actually? Am I the leader of this particular... No, I don't think so. I think I'm actually just leading my own forces, right? Yeah, I think I'm just leading my own forces, and that's it. So this is going to be kind of interesting. We've already eliminated a couple of the enemy's vassals, which is very, very nice. Come on, get him. Ah, no. Nice. That was a nice hit right there. Is that a defector? Look at that. He's using one of our troops. It must be a defector of some kind. Well, now we get to see just how terrible these units actually are if we're actually going to fight more of them. Nice. That was another one taken down. Fantastic. I think the main reason why this army in particular is going to be quite simple to defeat, as I turn on auto-delegation, because I think they might actually be that easy, is because they are mostly consisting of mercenary faction units. And while mercenary factions are, in my opinion, a very nice supplement to the overall strength of a faction, they are just that. They are indeed a supplement. They are not actually meant to be fighting on the front lines. They're not meant to be the main body of a particular army force, because otherwise they're not strong enough. They're not strong enough for that. At least I think so. Okay, we're losing quite a few units here, but I think we should be okay. I'm moving my archers a little bit closer. Yes, take out that guy. Thank you very much. And maybe I could take out this one. No, he swerved a little bit, or maybe it was me swerving. I'm not entirely sure. Let's shoot a couple of people with my crossbow if I can. Alright, so it seems like we're doing pretty nicely right here, and I don't think I need to worry too much about us potentially suffering a defeat, but it all depends on what happens with our reinforcements. If the enemy is going to be getting reinforcements significantly enough, then they could potentially push back against us, and then in that case, I'm going to try and get every single one that I can of our units back away from the reinforcement zone, because I think that in general, in previous fights, which I will not mention right now, but in previous fights, you know what I'm talking about. I do get a little bit carried away, and as a result, I might charge into places where you probably shouldn't, and in which case, that generally tends to have a rather negative effect on how we do. So I'm going to be a little bit more cautious in that case going forward, and hopefully we'll see some good improvement from that. And let's just see if I can maybe take out a couple of people with my crossbow here once again. I really love using the crossbow, even though I'm not the best at it. I think it's really, really fun to get a really long-range shot and then actually get a kill with a headshot or something like that. I think it's really fun. But obviously, it doesn't happen all the time. And you do have to be quite lucky, because I'm not actually aiming here for any particular reason. You know, there's a little bit of an aim to do, of course, in the general direction. But, of course, there's not much skill involved in that. It is literally just an aim and click. That's pretty much it. And it's not the same as, you know, playing, I don't know, playing some first-person shooter like, I don't know, Overwatch or Call of Duty or whatever, Team Fortress 2, you know, or whatever you're in the mood for. But in general, it is not the same as that, because I'm just shooting into the huge body of units, and then I just have to hope that I hit that. Obviously, these kinds of shots, they might be a little bit different, but look at that. You see that? Just missed that guy right there. Did get a headshot, so maybe I redeemed myself slightly, but still. Some of the time, it's most likely gonna be luck. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. As long as it gives me a kill, or as long as it makes it so that our forces are actually going to be victorious, that's all that very much matters to me, because in general, I don't really care about my own personal performance as long as I don't really die in the first 5 seconds. But that's happened. That has happened in the past. Let us not talk of it. Yes, let us not talk of it. But it has happened in the past where I have gone into a fight, I've charged in with reckless abandon, and as soon as I do so, I get shot in the face by some massive javelin or something, and as a result, I'm then dead, and then I can't really do anything. So that's very disappointing and infuriating when that happens to both you and me, no doubt. And yeah, that's why I've tried to reduce the chances of that actually happening in these kinds of fights. Even if we do end up suffering a defeat, it just means we're going to come back stronger, and we're going to be able to take the fight and our thirst for vengeance to the opponent. And then they're going to rue the day when they crossed Mr. Byron Bertild and his friends. Yes, exactly. Anyway, we're going to just continue letting people go for the most part, because I obviously want to try and well, fix things, shall we say, because I have obviously executed a couple of people, and that has maybe not done me any favors, let's just say that. Anyway, I'm going to take mostly tier 4 units here. If I see any other tier 4s, then I'll do that, but most of the time I will just be taking high tier units as much as I possibly can, because I can convert the tier 4 units from prisoners. I think there is actually an option in Chaos's tweaks, potentially, that allows me to recruit higher level prisoners, but I don't think I enabled that particular option. Anyway, we did have a defeat there. I mean, a death, actually. That is pretty cool. We did actually have that, so that's really, really nice to see. Maybe not for his family or anything like that, but definitely nice for me, because that means that we are now in a much better situation. Look at all these imbeciles. I will get them all to join me. But yes, okay, yeah. Yeah, what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna go over to Liberatus right here. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna make peace very, very soon. I think that there is definitely gonna be a peace agreement going on. Let's actually take a look at the diplomacy here. Okay, we are gonna receive 1340 tribute per day. I find it rather amusing that I can never propose the peace agreements. There's always going to be someone else proposing that, which is in my opinion a bit strange, because I think at this point, when both war exhaustions have reached a point of, well, redness, it should really make it so that I have the ability to at least have some support within the council of votes. I feel like that should make a difference, but oh well, not really that big a deal, I suppose. Anyway, we're just going to put the prisoners in here, because obviously my improved garrison mod does recruit prisoners automatically. It will only recruit up to tier 4, because I believe that that is the same thing with the upgrading as well, because I've only set it to upgrade to tier 4 units. So let's have a look and see what else we have here, because we do have a number of pieces of gear. I need to make sure that I'm not getting rid of anything that's too amazing. No, there we go. And we're going to be getting 14,000 gold from all of that stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, I did not lose the really, really good armor, by the way. I didn't lose the really, really good armor that I got from the executions in the previous few episodes. I actually gave that armor to, I believe, Sylvant, who is our wife, of course, and I also gave the armor to Nathanos, which is our brother. So they're both making good use of really, really good pieces of armor right there. So I'm pretty happy with that, but I just wanted to let you know that it has not gone to waste, and it is actually being used quite well. Anyway, basically I'm going to just do this. Sledges decreases wounded party speed penalty by 50% and increase the health of every mount in your party by 15. The other option is medicine recovery chance applies to enemies too. In other words, that's going to give you more prisoners, which might actually come in handy at some point if I ever make a roguery based character, which I'm thinking would be quite fun, but we'll see what happens with that. But for now, I'm going to be taking this. And we're going to just wait here for some time because I'd like to boost up the loyalty a little bit of our city because it's currently 55, which should be okay. I'm going to just slap a little bit more money in there as well. We kind of need to. And let's see what else actually happens here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be making peace with them quite soon. And we are actually besieging Jamaya Castle once again. That's very intriguing. Well, if we can take it before the peace agreement goes off, then I'll be pretty happy about that. But the peace agreement is coming. Rest assured. It is going to be coming right around the corner very soon. Or they're just going to make peace, boom, just like that. They're not even going to go forward with a vote because the war exhaustion has almost reached a critical point. So I'm going to try and rush over here as fast as I can to hopefully help in the siege, because I think that sieges are really fun to go into, especially with Bash Your Face Thanks by my side. I feel like that could be quite fun to use. Oh! They were defeated! Oh, what? By this guy? Ah, no, it appears not. It appears that this guy was not the perpetrator of the defeat that our faction just suffered. It was probably just one of the accomplices. Let's get into a fight here. Ah, look at that! A very wise decision. Capture them. Then let them go. Look at that. That is the easiest relation I have ever seen in my entire life. I like it. Thank you very much. I love the ability to force enemies into surrendering, because then you basically don't have to go through the whole fighting bit, even though fighting is actually really fun at times. But generally, at this point, I'd like to, you know, especially when it's a lower, you know, lower level vassal, shall we say, it is a lot easier for me to just get it over with and just take them prisoner or not, as this case may be, and then just move on from there. They only have 64! Look! They only have 64 in the garrison there. Alright, let's do it. Let's go in there. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to use my trebuchets, and hopefully we're going to do okay. Bear in mind that obviously there's a very large army nearby. I would assume that there is a very, very large army nearby, so I need to be very careful about what I do here. And hopefully I'm going to be able to react in time. This is also a reason why I'm not a big fan of the fact that, aha, hello there. It is actually Ialis's army. That's kind of interesting. He's got 45. Are you serious, sir? I think this might be my only opportunity to attack him. Yeah, this might be my only opportunity, because he is going to make peace very, very soon. Okay, let's do it. Ah, yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about. The war exhaustion was just way, way too fast for me to even catch up to the guy before that happened. Let's just take a quick look at how much we're actually getting from these guys. We're not getting anything? Are you serious? Look at that. Ah, blah, 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 blah. I am extremely annoyed now. I am extremely annoyed that we didn't get any tribute whatsoever. We should have gotten some at least, but look at how much we've gotten from the Botanians so far. 327,000. That's a pretty penny right there. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.